That would be an annoying way to start the episode if we just did Baby Sinclair voices all around. I'm the Red Sox! I'm the Red Sox! Gotta love me! How you doing? How you doing?
This sounds like Elmo.
A little bit. This is more like Elmo. That's kind of like that. That's a little bit more Elmo.
Elmo doesn't have a speech impediment. He just has a high-pitched voice.
Elmo doesn't know how to refer to himself in the proper tense. Like, I don't know if that's a speech impediment, but...
He's related to Gollum, actually.
Elmo welcomes you!
Imagine Gollum on Sesame Street. You just have Andy Serkis walking around in his little mocap suit.
I think he'd be a good fit.
What's everybody's favorite Andy Serkis performance?
I think just being himself. He's just a fun little creepy guy. I like him. Just
the Batman as Alfred.
He was good in that. He's good in the MCU.
How about Snoke? How about Supreme Leader Snoke?
I was gonna say he's in Star Wars, right? He's
yeah.
Yes.
It was great when they killed him off way too early.
No, I actually
supported that. Though.
You supported that?
I supported that. That was actually the best part of the whole sequel trilogy.
Really? What makes you say? I'm curious. I feel that's an unpopular opinion.
I felt something in that moment, which is more than I can say. For
fair enough. Fair enough.
Any of the third film.
Yeah. Oh, he was also. No, yeah, I got nothing.
What, Liam? Did I'm the Spy not make you feel anything when watching Rise of Skywalker?
That movie, I remember sitting there and on opening night, just like nothing. Like it didn't register. Felt nothing.
I think I had some copium that night because I was like, it's not bad. It's all right. It was fun.
You guys have seen Ken Burns baseball, right? I presume.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Have you seen the 10th inning? Like the one.
Not the full thing, but
what?
Not the full thing. I haven't seen.
Well,
the full
anyway,
thing.
So I guess
I did not like The Godfather.
You know when Howard Bryant is talking about Bonds breaking the record, and he's like,
yes, I know that part.
And he is devastated.
I felt nothing. And I always whenever something is shitty, I felt nothing.
I do remember that part. What was I going to say? I remember seeing that. This is Pod on Lansdowne, by the way. Thanks for tuning into this Red Sox based podcast. I remember sitting there. I think I said that.
Kessel Run.
Yeah, Pod on Tatooine. Sitting there. I think it was like the night after opening night, but I was sitting there with Missy Mopena. And when he said I'm the spy and it zooms in on his face there, Huck saying that, me and her both looked at each other and we didn't say anything, but the look in our eyes like, oh, this might be a bad movie. This might be, we're like 30, 45-ish minutes into this thing and we just kind of gave each other that look. Then they fake killed Chewbacca, or that was like after they fake killed Chewbacca.
I believe that was after they fake killed Chewbacca.
I'm the Spy came after.
Didn't they
I've seen the movie once.
Everybody.
But that's what I think.
They fake killed C-3PO.
Yeah. Which that would have been awesome.
The droid is ready.
He's back.
Folks,
the only redeeming.
He's back.
Yeah, Babu.
That film.
Babu Frick? Yeah, Babu Frick rules.
He's back. He's in The Mandalorian season 3.
Yes, he is. Shout out
Glup Shitto.
Yeah, Star Wars fans will never beat the allegations. Shout out to the Tro Mullins Babu Frick rap, if you remember that when that first dropped when Rise of Skywalker was getting run.
I don't think
I'll link it in the group chat. Shout out to Tro Mullins who actually left the internet.
Shout out to our group chat.
Shout out to our group chat, and shout out to you for listening to this episode. We've got 40 more seconds left until we've hit 5 minutes of non-Red Sox talk to start the show.
What left to say, really?
Well, I could say I'm George Kataris, a.k.a. Fitz. I'm joined by Never Forget, a.k.a. Jig, and Ramon Ramirez, a.k.a. Liam, who I said off the program, and I know this is a podcast situation, his hair is looking magnificent today, folks, but then he let me know that, what's the secret, King?
I haven't showered today, so...
I still think it looks splendid. So there you go.
You guys get dry scalps? I have a terrible dry scalp. I bought like special shampoo,
Use Head
prescription
and
strength.
Shoulders.
I was gonna say Head and Shoulders.
No, fuck Head and Shoulders. Let me let it be known.
The floor's
Head and
yours.
Shoulders is not good for your hair at all.
I'm
Not good for
a
your scalp,
Pantene
your
guy.
hair. It's not good for anything.
What did you say, Liam? What are you?
I'm a big Pantene guy. So
Pantene.
Liam, you are
Pantene.
so quiet. Fitz, is he quiet to you? I can't even hear the kid.
I think he's maybe turn up the volume a little bit,
Yeah, turn
Liam.
it
But
up.
I think you're fine. Yeah.
Let me see.
Some on the fly editing.
Normally
how's
I just
this?
deal with it, but I actually
Louder,
couldn't
yeah.
hear Liam. Yeah, that's better.
Is this better? That's way
Yeah,
better?
that is
Okay.
better. Yeah.
But anyway, back to Pantene, sponsor the pod.
I use Nizoral as my shampoo. It's like that's the prescription strength, and then for
Oh.
conditioner, I'm a big Moroccan oil guy. You guys fuck with Moroccan oil?
I can't say I've had the pleasure one way or the other.
A little spency, but as long as you're, as long as you're conservative with
Called
your
self-care.
with your application, it'll last.
Jake, you're conservative?
I am. That's right, Fitz.
He's got the smiley hat on right now, so. Ay. Hey, we got a good show of Red Sox content question coming up here this week. But there is one thing that actually is good. We'll see what happens between us three talking. We don't know what's going to happen within the next 30-ish minutes or so. We do have a great interview with the Boston Globe's Julian McWilliams later in the program. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. I spoke to him for about a half hour. Great conversation, boys.
Time.
That's right. Listen, he liked that video of the fucking loser there out front of Cass saying he doesn't like any handsome guys that Jake tweeted. He dug that. He was talking to us about that, and we were able to get him onto the program. Our little inside scoop man, our beat writer, who's got the years of all the Red Sox players and staff. So he's going to be like our little inside scoop source guy going forward.
He's anytime we pull a Red Sox stat, we'll just
he'll be how we get
him.
David Ortiz on the pod.
Yes, yeah. And no disrespect to Julian, but if he can be the stepping stone to get to one David Ortiz, I mean that's how we go big time, folks. That's
hell. I'll take Pedro Martinez.
That's very big of you to come up here and say.
I'm not picky.
I want Ted Williams' lower half.
Okay.
You can't get
lower. It's his lower like 6/7, right? It's just
83%. Yeah. You're not going to get that top part though, because that is.
No, I think I'm pretty sure the head is.
Ted Williams is actually
something bad
frozen,
happened to the
right?
head.
Like it's not a Walt Disney thing.
All right, first two things. Liam, what did you say before? He actually is frozen, yes. But Liam, what did you say?
I was gonna say like a story came out maybe like 10 years ago about the guys at like the carbon freezing chamber.
Oh, they used it as like a piñata, basically.
Yeah, and they like took baseball bats to it.
Yeah.
His head?
His head.
Yeah.
Why'd they do that?
Why does anyone do anything? I wouldn't do it.
I mean, did they break in or they were employees?
I think they were employees.
It was
You don't have to be
bizarre.
like a real doctor to get that job?
Well, it's more of a pseudoscience.
Yeah, it's kind of fuzzy a little bit, right? Yeah.
Like chiropractors.
Vaccines.
Liam, you need to wear the smiley hat now. You got.
Liam, I'll run it over to you. I'll be there in.
Yeah, I'm all about those essential oils. That's why I haven't showered today.
Where is Ted's head? Does it have a is it all fucked up now?
Ted's head, baby.
What?
Ted's head.
Is his head fucked up, guys? You got
That's the name of the episode.
Ted's head.
Butch. Blueberry pancakes.
Butch. Guys, where is Ted's head? Can somebody answer me?
I'm gonna pull it up.
All right, Liam, you try to find out where Ted's head is. We'll actually start talking about the 2022 Red Sox.
No, I don't.
Do we? Well, you said it yourself, Jake. What is there to
I
say?
could probably rattle off my thoughts in 45 seconds, honestly.
You know what? Give me start right now.
Okay, the rest of the year, I want to see Cassis do well. I want to see Bayo continue to look like he's a major league starter. I want to see Story and Kike and I want to see them do well. I mean that
I want a hamburger. I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah, I'd like them to probably at this point like shut down Schreiber and Whitlock. Honestly, I don't need them to throw any more innings. That's good for nobody. And I'd like for Rafael Devers and Xander Bogaerts to get the bag, and that's pretty much. There's no. Oh, I guess I'd like Connor Wong to do well as well, and prove he's a major leaguer, and that's it. That's all I care about anymore.
That was 43 seconds.
Yeah, there you go. I told you. Those are all my thoughts. I have no more thoughts.
I did want to dive in deeper into Bayo because he was going to be my fuck with on the week because that performance. I know towards the end of one of those recent outings, he kind of worked his way into trouble there, and the wheels sort of fell off of the Sox at that point. But Bayo, now we've seen it a couple times at this point. And again, I'm going to sound like a fucking broken record because we've mentioned this on the show before, but once he starts to have something resembling consistent command, I don't want to say the sky's the limit for this kid because I mean like that's lofty expectations. But we've talked about clouds on this show before. What's one of the different layers of the sky?
Like
there's like a stratosphere.
There's atmosphere. There's stratosphere. There's
what's the middle sphere?
Layers of sky.
Because that's what I would say for Bayo, like a really good pitcher.
So it goes. We live in the troposphere.
Okay, above the troposphere, Bayo is bigger than the troposphere.
Above the troposphere is the stratosphere.
Okay.
Then it's the mesosphere.
I'm gonna firmly say that the mesosphere is the limit for one Brian Bayo.
Okay, that's cool. That's where like meteors live.
Oh, all right.
That's where they burn up.
That's where they burn up, yeah. And then above that,
he's getting hot. What can I say?
Just for the listeners, I'm sure they're
We're
curious.
flaming out.
Above that is the thermosphere, and then above that is the exosphere.
Yeah, exosphere is like prime Verlander or Kershaw, like 2014 Kershaw. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't see that. Who could you ever project that for? Who's ever going to say, "Oh, this guy's going to be as good as Jacob deGrom," right? You know what I mean? But no, Bayo. I mean, you saw that clip of that Stats put out the collection of his changeups there, like getting lefties blown away. It's a fucking disgusting stuff. And if you can have that with some relatively consistent command, I mean, manage his innings for the rest of the year just to try to get him to a regular enough of a workload where he can give you about 150 to 180 innings next year, I'd absolutely take that.
Would you? What's his ceiling? You think like a solid
mesosphere, baby. The mesosphere is the limit with the meteors.
So is the whole thing the atmosphere?
Like a strong number 2, I would say probably.
Is the whole thing the atmosphere? Like all 5 of those makes up the atmosphere? Is that how that works?
I thought the atmosphere was one of the spheres.
It is not.
It's not one of the layers.
No.
It's
So that's the all-encompassing sphere.
Yeah,
of the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought so. It's like a kind of a all rectangles or all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
It's not like that at all.
Why is it not like that at all?
It's not like that because the atmosphere. I think the atmosphere is made up of these 5 things.
The atmosphere is the rectangle.
Oh, actually, this one says, I actually looked right at this. I read off this one. The header of this image is layers of Earth's atmosphere.
Well, there you go.
Right. Well,
Again, that's the rectangle, and then the mesosphere is like a square.
No, that's not. It's
100% correct comparison. Liam, you be the judge. Does that comparison make sense?
Liam, don't forget that we're a union, you and me.
I don't understand Fitz's vision.
Thank you. That's
it's
right.
just a circle with
right.
more layers underneath it.
Liam, you're still so quiet I can't hear you. Fitz, do you agree?
I think he's fine.
He's 30 feet from the fucking mic.
That's your union, buddy. You're yelling at him, throwing him under the bus. I think he's fine.
How's this? I cranked it up more.
I can hear him.
It's not the big boys talk.
Scabby the rat.
And wake up in the middle of the night, big giant inflatable rat out front of my window.
So I did finish my research on Ted Williams' frozen head.
Okay, well, we're back to this. Thank you for the heads up.
So apparently at one point there was like a tuna can frozen to like the bottom of his head.
What?
Separated it.
What?
they had
Why?
to like just place his neck up on something and use like a tuna can.
The head for the greatest hitter of all time and use a fucking bumblebee tuna?
And
They
then
couldn't use like a hockey puck or something.
No.
Something more respectful. Put a nice
and
little
then they,
like
then they tried to take it off with a monkey wrench, and that's when like things shattered and really really grotesque imagery comes to mind.
Ugh! Oh my
But,
god! I would have wished that on my worst enemy.
The
But
trail
we still
goes
don't
cold
know-
after
we
that
still don't know
story.
where it is. We
I
don't
imagine
know.
it's still at that facility.
Yeah,
I
but
think it's
where is
I think it's
that?
like in
That's what I'm
Arizona.
Okay, thank you.
Something
That's all
like
I
that.
wanted this whole time.
Yeah.
I want to know where it was.
We should go find it.
I was gonna say, is Jake gonna do like a national treasure situation here?
Yeah.
Pod outside.
Imagine if like
Alcor
when
freezing.
the three of us get like a nice studio, we get like a Rich Eisen fucking Dan Patrick show studio, like with all our bobbleheads and shit in front, and then
That would
at
be
the end
sweet.
is just
Little tuna can.
just Ken's head. Yeah, and yeah, with the can. Well, the can's no Fitz. The can was removed.
I'm gonna heat up the tuna can. That's the next plot for National Treasure, man. I'm telling you. I'm gonna find the bumblebee can of tuna.
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about how awesome Brian Bale was and the different levels of the
Oh
atmosphere.
yeah, he's. I think he could be. I mean, Christ, he probably is the number 2 next year, right? Not that that's like a positive thing, but as
By default.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
the
better
one?
than
In the rotation, at least, depending on if they bring back Evaldi, if they, how Paxton is coming along. I guess I don't know. It all depends. That's a shiver me timbers. My goodness.
these are
But
broken men we're talking about. We need to field. We need guys to throw baseballs. I don't know.
Rich
I
Hill,
mean,
1 year extension is coming.
no, it really is time for him to be a family man. He had that one. He was good. I hate watching
was
him
fine
pitch.
over the
I'm
weekend.
sorry. I can't stand watching him pitch.
I don't mind him when he's on, because when he's on,
I'd
the game's
rather
like
watch
over
somebody
90
give
minutes.
up like 1 more run, 2 more runs than Rich Hill. It's not exciting.
you'd rather the Red Sox lose runs than
Rich Hill pitching does not put asses in seats.
This
puts
is-
Milton asses in seats. Milton loves them.
I don't think that's true anymore.
Milton, Massachusetts doesn't love their
They love
hometown
Rich,
king.
but I don't know if those asses are still going in the seats for him.
They're not showed out in droves.
How many times has he been here? 4 separate stints? 3
I
separate?
think this is his third.
Yeah, I mean, old news.
Well, he's about to extend that third stint again because he's getting a 3-year extension. I think Liam's onto something.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at what we have rotation wise for next year currently. I mean, it's Pavetta, Bayo, Cutter, Winkowski, and
I mean, they have to acquire.
Seabold, I
at
guess.
least
Like,
one
yeah, like
starting.
there's no reason they won't acquire or bring back
Yeah.
Waka or bring back Evaldi.
Yeah.
100% bring back Waka, by the way. That guy.
I think he's
I'm
gonna
all
get a
in.
bag though.
I mean, if he gets like
If he gets a bag, good for him.
45 over 3 years, like then yeah, you're not going to bring back Michael Waka, right? It's just is what it is. But you give him 30 million over 3 years. He's only 32, right? Would you do that?
30 over. Yeah.
Over
10 per?
Yeah.
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 10
I would
per?
do that, yeah.
I'd do that.
I think that's an easy call.
Yeah, settled that one right there. That's a easy. How much is he making this year?
This is my favorite thing we do on the shows when we just throw out numbers. And we're like, okay, yeah, that works. Like, and he,
Yeah, he'll take it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's making 25 this year, but he'll take a $15 million pay cut, right? Just all hypothetical.
What is he making this year? Like
I'm trying to look that up right now. You guys keep
6
talking.
and a half? But yeah, Bayo though, that's 3 straight promising starts against AL East teams.
He's making $7 million this year.
Oh, it was close.
Here's a take I have. As
Let's hear it.
far as I think I'm fully comfortable just leaving catching.
As is.
Just as is, and spending that money elsewhere. Like, right? I mean,
Well,
I'd rather
apparently
go
Pilecki's still under arbitration, so I don't know.
No.
Can we send him to Worcester?
Which is crazy to think about. I feel like Kevin Pilecki's been in the league since like 2007.
Wait, we have him next year still?
Yeah, I think we've got him for one more year.
That can't be right, Liam.
Did we look this up a couple episodes
No, I think
ago?
but I think he's a free agent now.
Okay, all right. Well,
Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
in any case, the battery should be Wong and McGuire. Like,
Yeah.
don't mess with it.
No, and then go get an outfielder and
you.
pay your infield, and then that's it. And then worry about pitching because God knows you need to.
I owe Reese McGuire an apology, man. I was not familiar with
You
his
do.
game going
You
into it.
absolutely
I
do. Apology.
consider this an official apology to one Reese McGuire because he's been very solid, and you can definitely do worse than a platoon of him and Wong going into next season and perhaps beyond. There at
Reese
over
McGuire,
there behind the
here's my
dish.
hot take for next year. Reese McGuire is going to hit 400 next year. The first season.
That is, and Reese McGuire will also be frozen to a tuna can after he is departed.
No shift next year.
Yeah, well, you got to talk about that. Let's. You know what?
Yeah,
Let's do this. Let's take a brief timeout. Let's pitch. Let's toss it over to our interview with the Boston Globe's Julian McWilliams. It was a great conversation. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Talked about how he played in the Little League World Series. We talked about that. We talked about his journey to being a Red Sox beat writer, the differences between working in Boston and supposed to being a beat writer for the A's, which he was before that with the Athletic. It was a great conversation. Then we wrapped it up with some timely topical stuff regarding someone on the Boston Red Sox. You'll have to stay tuned to that. So here's our interview with. What's that?
I said that's a tease.
Yeah, big time tease there. So here's our conversation with Julian McWilliams. It's Tommy Fan fantasy football stuff. That's what it is.
That's incredible. Skip it about and that.
Yep. All right. Thanks again to Julian McWilliams. Hopefully we can get it back on the pod there again. It was crazy. It was crazy when he completely dunked on Jake there and said that he'd kick his ass. I didn't think Julian was going to say that on the program, but nevertheless, I got to keep a straight face while the interview is ongoing. Would you like to retort to that, Jake?
No, I think anybody could kick my ass. Neither of my shoulders work. I have 2 torn labrums.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I can't really throw punches. My arm dislocates if I throw a punch, so it's not a great. I can't really get into fights.
That's tough. Do you ever find yourself in situations where you're close to? What was that, Liam?
Said that's why he carries a gun on him. He's pro Second Amendment.
Open carry Wallinger. That's what they call him.
Have I ever found myself in where it would have been nice?
You find yourself in those tussle situations? You're like, how am I going to get myself out of this one?
No, I think this is so holier than thou. I don't think fist fighting is ever a decent idea to solve something.
Never ends up well.
No, even if I found a guy who was just a little pussy and I knew I could take him, I think I'd rather just be mean. I think it's funnier.
Just fry his ass.
Yeah, whoa, you threw a punch. It's not funny. Nobody in there. You're not improving anyone's evening if you throw a punch, but if you make fun of somebody, people can laugh and they can. I think I'm pro verbal abuse.
I'm take that out of context, 100%. But no, that's Liam. If you're doing the out of context tweet for this, can you find the picture?
It's gonna be a quote card.
Can you find? Make it a quote card. But can you find the picture of the golden retriever being pointed at by 3 people in the golden retriever, kind of has a very embarrassed look on its face? That's a.
You went to Zoomass. You were getting a kerfuffle out there in Amarillo?
No. For the most part, it's same kind of deal. No, you'll see donkeys getting to fist fights. I've had to try to stop it once. I've had to jump in the middle, which that's not necessarily fun. But me being the subject of it, no, it's for the most part, no. If you can chirp back at someone quick enough with something witty enough, that's 50 times more effective than like any punch.
Yeah, absolutely.
That shit will linger. The social embarrassment of that.
You always see those memes like, oh, I wish I thought about this after when I was.
That is that's the worst feeling. Then like 2 hours later, like fuck, I should have said that.
It's Liam, my friends. I do it every time I get into a spat, a verbal spat. It weighs on me. I'm like, oh, the fuck, that would have been really funny if I said that.
But when you nail it, those times when you do nail it, that's
the AL wildcard game. I got to like scoreboard a guy. It was a Yankees fan, and he was getting feisty. Oldest trick in the book, Scoreboard. Hey, look, Oh.
Did you show your face at the scoreboard?
I was being a dick to this guy next to me, and everybody was just like pointing at the scoreboard, and it was very funny.
Oh man,
we won that game.
You won. Walter White, I won. Rule changes. MLB announced a whole slate of rule changes here. Which one do we want to start? Do we want to talk about banning the shift, the bigger bases, pitch clock?
We could start with bases because that's kind of.
Let's start with the bases. Bases going up.
What was it? Chill was playing with in that video from this
he was
past
pissed
weekend.
about it.
Is that the real size of the base?
No,
there's no way.
No, it's not.
Oh, when he took the couch cushion and put it on.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, he went into the clubhouse. He took a a mattress,
like an inflatable base for like.
No, it was from the sofa in the clubhouse or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the backrest or the place where you put your big old butt down. But it's going up from 11 to 13 inches wide.
No, I think it's 15 to 18, isn't it?
I thought it was 11 to 13.
There's
11 seems way too small. It's going up. That's all that matters. I thought I read that it was 11 to 13. It's getting bigger. Whatever it is now, it's
getting bigger.
It's getting bigger. It's getting a lot bigger. A lot. It's a lot bigger this time, folks. They say, "Oh, so small before." Not anymore, folks. It's going to be very, very big.
We're looking very closely into the bases.
Yeah, I called them, and we're talking about it. They said we need the bases to be bigger. And we're doing it, folks. I mean, obviously, the first thing that jumped out.
It's fine.
What's that?
It's an inconsequential. I mean,
I don't think so. No, I think
it's going to help injuries because guys won't be as on.
Well, yeah, they say it's for safety, but the biggest thing that jumps out to me, this is easily going to incentivize base stealing more. That's fun. More action on the base paths, which is great. Yeah, I mean. That much of a difference, baseball is a game of inches, my friend.
I agree. Okay.
That mixed with the fact that you can only pick off twice per AB, that's also going to incentivize pitching more because you're going to see guys try to entice.
I don't like
pick off over. Really?
Yeah, that's the only one of the changes I don't think is like perfect.
I hate when they pick off like 6 times.
No,
you know what I mean?
I do too, but I don't. I think it's that's just an imperfect part of the game. Like it's even, and I know that. What is it? It's like the guy can.
He could try a third time, but it's counted as a balk if he's not out.
You have to get the guy out.
Yeah.
If you try a third,
or
time.
else he's awarded second base.
That the guy can't take. He will be unable to take like a comical lead. But even then, I think guys are gonna take comical leads because it's like, remember when John Lester couldn't throw to first?
Yes,
that was such a saga.
That mental block,
guys, especially like righties. You could probably just run that risk, if like maybe they get nervous. I don't know. I don't think it's perfect. Like a 10-foot lead, 10 feet.
Again, I think at the end of the day, what a lot of these rule changes do, including this, it just incentivizes more action outside of the 3 true outcomes, right? That you're going to be seeing more running around.
Is fun.
For sure. Now, this directly does not help the Red Sox because it just incentivizes more base running errors for the Red Sox. Even if it's a bigger base, they'll still find a way to get thrown out on the base paths like a nincompoop.
When Brandon Nimmo's on the team next year, he likes to steal a bag or two. So
yes, and you know what he doesn't like seeing stolen?
That's right.
The election. That's
deal.
I will say one thing on the rule changes. Like, I read one piece on it that said Theo was like a huge part behind it. So in that sense, I trust Theo. If it was like, oh, this is all Manfred's work, like, now I'm out. But knowing Theo's behind
Same
it.
exact rule changes, but Theo has something to do with
Exactly.
it. You're like, okay. Yeah. Just by the association with
I'd love
with
to do
Rob.
like in the off season, like an hour-long Theo retrospective pod.
Put it on the list. I will add it to the off-season
One of the
list.
most fascinating men in baseball history, I think personally.
Easily a
he
Hall of
walks
Famer right there
around,
already.
He's like the first little, like analytic darling, little Ivy League analytic darling baby boy, and then he goes and he ends two of the biggest championship droughts in the history of sport.
And the second one, he kind of like changed it around. Like, it was, the analytical darling to start off, but then he had said, I think at least on a couple different occasions during his time with the Cubs, it's like, everyone caught up to the analytical wave at that point. Hi, Sophie.
She was in Amherst today, Fitz.
Your alma mater.
Where were you doing at the Republic of Amherst?
At UMass. I can't hear him.
Oh yeah.
I said, what was she doing at Amherst there, Jay?
Oh wow.
Ah, UMass. There you go.
Night-
I miss Amherst. I miss Amherst so much.
Yeah, you relive. You ever go back?
A couple times. The last time I went, it was actually like I think it was November of 2020. Like COVID was still, sort of a thing. That a lot of the bars were closed at that point, but there are a couple places were open. We were able to.
Very much a thing in November of 2020.
It most certainly was. But no, Alex and I went up there for a long weekend. It's a beautiful little town, man. I love Amherst.
It is. Great vintage store for anybody listening. Mass Vintage is located in Amherst. I've been there.
I don't think I want. Thank you for the plug on that
I don't
UMass Hackett giveaway, but I don't think I want it. They were giving away I think like a '90s UMass snapback or something like that. I did not get it. But anyways, the fact that like Theo like,
How many siblings do you have?
huh?
How many siblings do you have?
I have one sister.
Oh, and is she out of college?
Yeah, she's a couple years younger than me. She graduated from UNH.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So that's always an excuse to like relive glory days, but she's out.
I've officially transitioned. Like we were thinking about, I don't think we're going to be able to go, but we were thinking about trying to go to a UMass football game. I've officially transitioned away from listening to Mo Bamba packed in like sardines tailgating, where beer cans are flying all over the place.
Grilling.
Now I'm firmly in wear a dad hat and a crew neck sweatshirt, play some cornhole, drink a craft beer, and listen to Steely Dan tailgate.
Yeah,
like that's
much more civilized.
right. I've been passed down the mantle of dad tailgating. It's like the end of Eternals. Like I opened up the Black Knight kind of box there. It was speaking to me.
Crazy movie to reference.
It just kind of came to me. I was trying to. There's like 15,000 different like passing down the mantle things. I don't know why that one came to me at first, but
that movie probably of every movie I've seen in the last 10 years had the least lasting effect on me. Like I have not thought about that movie for 45 seconds since I saw it.
it was here and then it was gone. That was me with Black Widow. Black Widow just kind of
Yeah, that also wasn't good.
in one ear out the other.
Except Florence Pugh's in that, so they have that going for her.
She was special. So, anyways, Theo Epstein,
Great American Jew, Theo Epstein.
Okay, I'll save my Theo thoughts for when we do an off-season Theo Epstein episode.
So his dad has slept on Theo Epstein's couch, or the other way around. Other way around?
He slept with Theo Epstein.
No, really.
What?
He slept on Theo's
He
couch?
watched Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, they watched Beavis and Butthead together at Yale in there.
Nice.
Oh,
It's a great show.
Yeah.
Hey, Beavis. Any other rule changes? The pitch clock I love. I think everyone universally seems to like that. Did anyone not like that?
No, I'm fine with it, yeah.
It makes complete
It was
sense.
time.
Stay in the box. Stay on the rubber. Let's get this show on the road. Banning the shift. How do we feel about that?
Pro. I could not be more pro ban the listen, for a while I was like, oh, learn to hit the other way. They're not. Nobody's learning to hit the other way, so they have,
Game's got to change.
Yeah, like
Game's got to adapt.
the times are changing, and but also if you really like, oh my god, who had a great thread? Mike P something. He does MLB Network spots a lot. I follow him. He had a great thread on it the other day. Petriello. Mike Petriello, good follow for baseball Twitter. He had a thread where really the only rules are that You need 2 guys in the infield on either side of second
Bag on the dirt when the pitcher's on the rubber.
Yeah. Everything else you can kind of still be quirky with. Like, so if like Joey
You can
Gallo's up,
you can sneak over the shortstop like right up to basically the line with second base.
Well,
You know what I mean? Kind of have a play up the middle and then hook the second baseman kind of around a little bit more. You could do that.
you could also like have your right fielder come down and your center fielder go right and your left fielder go right a little bit. Like if it's a dead pull guy like Joey Gallo or something like that. Like
That would make more sense for Fenway.
Yeah, I think it'll help. I mean, it'll certainly. It's not going to fix the 3 true outcomes thing, but I think it'll definitely help, and I think it'll help guys that have at least some ability to go the other way that get shifted on. But I think if you're like dead pull, you're probably still going to get fucked a good amount of the time, I think.
Look, again, it's the point in Liam. I don't know if you agree with this, but I was kind of soured on banning the shift at first, like you, Jake, but I've kind of come around to it. All these rule changes, for the most part, if it incentivizes action, if it gets the game moving, if it values different styles of play, like, just more batting average kind of guys that have been good for decades, up until the 3 true outcome revolution of the last decade or so, if that incentivizes different styles of play and, different just game action in general, I'm all for it while keeping it at a solid enough of a pace. Now, I could watch a 5-hour baseball game that's slow as molasses. I don't care. But if it gets more, I'm fine with that. I'm often of the belief that MLB tries way too much to cater the sport to a new audience when they should just focus on like the audience that like they already have, like making that game good. But I think this kind of accomplishes both of those, you know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, we're all diehard baseball fans. I don't think there's a baseball fan on Earth. Well, that's not true. There's a lot of weird guys out there, but I think
lot of weird guys.
Nobody likes having like a 110 mile per hour hit into shallow right field being out. That's strange, and I don't like it. That should be a base knock.
For the most part, yeah, absolutely.
It will be again. It's Alex Verdugo is going to hit 320 next year. I've been saying it for like a year and a half now, ever since the shift getting banned was like a real idea. There's Devers. I think the Red Sox, they've got a lot of guys that get shifted on it. This is going to be a good thing.
We're not going to be BABIPs to death.
And it's a great thing, for our pitching, because I swear to God, we fuck up half the shifts we do. We are so bad at shifting. I don't know if it's. I guess you just notice it when it's bad. But the amount of times I've seen a ball just meander down the third base line and Devers is 40 feet to the right by himself. I swear to God, it happens once a game. It's like I don't know why we singularly are so bad at it. But
Liam, what do you think?
I'm all for it. My only gripe was about the fact that the infielders have to be on the dirt. Like, I don't understand why the second baseman can't be in shallow right, or the left or the shortstop can't be in shallow left. Like, they're still on the correct side of the base.
Yeah, maybe that gives it like a happy medium there if you're really adamant about the shift. You know what I mean? Because it's still advantageous if your second baseman's backed up a little bit there. To have a little bit more of a shift defense, he's not going to be able to make as many plays up the middle. But if it is a dead pull guy, then it still behooves you to back him up a bit.
It's true.
They're not called shallow outfielders, Liam. That's not what the position is called. Right?
Hey, fair enough. If they were,
it makes you think.
Fitz, what are they called? What are those positions called?
I believe they're called infielders.
That's right, and that's where they're going to be, and that's where they live now.
That's the definition.
Yep.
That's where they live.
Jake's the kid at the sleepover going, "It's tomorrow now." Shout out to John Mulaney. Yeah, but in general, I like all these rule changes, and I like the fact that the minors are working towards being unionized too. That's actual union.
Whoa!
I'm about to be handed papers there. I'm going to be given a fine.
Fitzimo Schultz.
Scabby Mopena.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Fitzimo Schultz just on me.
The Starbucks right down the road from me, down on Com Ave in BU's campus is striking right now. I walked by it today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I went in, I broke it, and I got 2 iced coffees. I crossed it.
Oh, no.
No, I can't.
Like
I actually
any
don't. I
union
think the
man
store
would.
was. I don't
He
think
did-
anybody could cross that picket line if they wanted to. They were just in front of the store. I don't think you could even.
He
Good for
needed
them.
Jake needed his grown-up morning milkshake.
No, I'm not a Starbucks guy, but good for those.
Nothing but heavy cream.
Good for those.
I
workers.
haven't had Starbucks in a while. I'm the Dunkin' sicko, man. That's
Yeah, me too.
Did you guys see that video
Caramelized.
going around today? There's no Dunkins in Stowe.
Yeah.
no. What happened?
Tragic. They had two. They're both closed now.
Liam, which dunks do you hit? The Kentmore one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have
do.
the app, and like the three that are inside Fenway still show up. And like that's just not helpful.
I'm the Boylston one across from the Boston Public Library is mine.
Interesting.
Yes.
Mobile ordering for dunks, especially on like a Saturday, absolute must. I was in
I don't
Franklin.
understand why people don't order ahead.
I don't
Like,
mobile. I
it's
don't fuck with
genius.
mobile order. Sorry.
I mean, every now and again they'll mess it up, but that's
Yeah, it
the
bothers me. You know what I was speaking of mobile ordering, there's a Shake Shack on Newberry Street that I grabbed the other day for Sophie and I. We eat like just for dinner, and I went in there, and if you were a hungry person and you had no money,
as I often am.
that's the place to be, because there is no checks and balances system on those pickup orders. It is a big table set. It's like 30 feet from the cash register. You could just walk in there and
just
it
grab and
says
go.
right on the bag what's in the bag. Like I mean, there were 30 orders on that table. It was like a free for all. I mean, I paid. I'm a, but
He's a man of honor.
Oh, look at you, all high and mighty.
if there's any homeless people listening to this pod, I recommend the Shake Shack on Newberry Street. There's some good meals in there to be had.
There you go. Hey, that's a word to the wise. There you go.
Chipotle,
biggest
very similar
demographic.
system. You could probably just go in there and grab shit too. Just look like you're looking for
Belong.
your order. You know?
That's anything. If you
Act like
if
you
you know, yeah, exactly. Act like you belong. No one will say anything. When you start like looking a little bit nervous, that's when you stick out like a sore thumb.
No, never get nervous.
90% never get nervous. So is that going to do it for this week?
I think so. Yankees are in town tomorrow.
You know, the Yankees are in town this week, and it's just such a shame that like it doesn't
That it
fucking
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Like it's that
Hey,
sucks.
if we win though, we can help. Maybe we can help Tampa. We can
True.
root for that.
True. Obviously,
That's what-
I would
that's what
like
we've
them
done
to
at this
win,
point.
right?
I'll
But
be there
there's no
Wednesday.
implications to it for the Red Sox.
And then the Royals over the weekend. That's
Hey,
super
Friday-
exciting.
The three of us might meet up though. Very exciting stuff.
That'll be fun.
sure.
Yeah, that'll be. Alex or Sophie will have to pop the picture there. I think I'll have Alex do it. Did you? I mean, I know you. Jake, did you actually end up getting the Friday tickets?
Well, I'll just wait if Liam can bring me.
Yeah, if my
I'm sure our
sister
listeners love hearing about this. Love
Yeah,
hearing us
if-
plan our meeting.
Yeah, I might just cut this part. This is this is not good radio.
I'm gonna wait until I know what's up.
Yeah, no. I'll ask her tonight. I'll text her.
Okay.
She'll probably say no. We're grabbing dinner Thursday night anyway, so she'll probably be
Oh,
like,
so fuck
nah,
her
I don't
then.
need to
What
see
is-
it Friday. Yeah,
Bring me.
You'll catch up with her then, right?
yeah, exactly. I saw her this past Thursday. We're good. She's only in Southie. She's not far away.
Southie. Liam, where are your seats?
Right in the corner by Pesky's pole.
Oh,
I
hell
bought it
yeah.
from
I
a
hope
girl
Johnny's
on
there.
Twitter for like a grand total of $50 for both.
Who'd you get? Who'd you get it from?
Not what's her name? Like that. I don't know what her handle is, but it's just Jules.
It's at real Candace Owens. So,
At
AJ
Woosok
from
Smiley.
MA. Is that who?
No, different Jules.
Different.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's what I knew. If I said just Jules, that's the first one that would come to mind.
yeah, that's what I thought you meant at first too.
But no, different Jules.
Crazy. I can't believe it.
Two of them.
We're gonna be out in center field, like right center field.
Well, I'll find you and I'll kiss you. That's what we're gonna do.
Promise.
No.
Fucking hey, don't get me excited like that, then not deliver. Jeez, I need a guarantee there. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Why not?
good episode there. Again, shout out to Julian McWilliams for coming on to the program this week, for being game enough. We'd love to have him back on. Hope you enjoyed that interview. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pod on Lansdowne. Anything else? I think that's all orders of business.
Ted's head.
We love you, and if you see us, say hello.
If I don't see it, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Go Sox, baby.